What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I am back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the red color, playing as Zeus. His name is the Rapl. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Loki. His name is Ulysses. It's currently 1-0 for Ulysses, taking the first win in a set mirror. We're moving into a Loki versus a Zeus game. We've seen a little bit of this recently. It's a very, very fun matchup. I absolutely love this matchup for both. I love both sides of this matchup, playing both sides of this matchup. I think it's incredibly fun, and there's just a lot of room to create chaos and get advantages and like do risky maneuvers with your armies and all of this stuff. It's really, really fun. So we'll see how it's going to unravel and what these guys are going to try and do. Normally, we're going to be seeing Loki go for 4-SETI here, but I think the one thing that Loki players could try a little bit more of in this matchup, especially on a map like Savannah, where your second hunt is normally fairly exposed, and you basically have to defend it in the early stages of the game, is to think about delaying Hall of Fames and delaying the idea of spamming just Herser. So Odin does this really well, right? Odin goes Herser, throwing Axeman to defend against an early game Athena kind of damage. You go Herser, throwing Axeman, and you can kind of hold on against the Hoplite, Toxotes, Minotaur, Jason, Odysseus early push on your food, and you can hold it, and then you're okay. Loki players don't seem to do that for whatever reason. But you can definitely do it. You can go for throwing Axeman and get the Hall of Fames later when you want to start raiding, when you have more of those units here. Now, we do have 2 separate hunt locations, which is really, really good here for Ulysses. So we'll see which one he's going to want to go for. I think the natural response would be to move on to your Gazelle here, but he could make the big trek over onto the Zebra, potentially for later. Who knows? And such is life. Rapl, on the other hand here, he's actually moved straight onto his second food at the start of the game. Not sure why he did that, but he did. This rhino was completely fine, and the rhino decided to run away from the granary there for whatever reason. But it is what it is. A little bit of a weird housing decision there. If you start this house before the villager starts, then it will get up in time. If you start it after the villager, then you need 2 villagers. That's the rule. That is the rule. Got a question in chat. What's the chance of spawning a mythic unit for a Loki player? Well, there's 0% chance of spawning a mythic unit. I misread that. I thought you said mythic age unit, mythic unit. So the chances, it's not chance based at all. The chance gets, the way the Loki myth unit spawn works is that the game decides when the game starts, decides which unit the Herser is going to spawn. Which myth unit the Herser will spawn first. So that's the chance. If it picks a troll, then it's something like 12 favor. If it picks a Einhir, it's something like 13 favor. If it picks a Valkyrie, it's something like 12 favor. I can't remember exactly the amounts. And then once you hit that favor pool with just Herser, if you've got an army of Jarls fighting and 1 Herser, the favor pool's only going to go up for that 1 Herser. So if you hit that favor pool with 1 Herser, you will spawn that unit, and then the game will pick a different unit. If you're in the heroic age, you're gonna have essentially a 50% chance of getting a heroic age myth unit, and you're gonna have a 50% chance of getting a classical age myth unit. And then if the game selects one of those mythic age myth units, the Herser have to gather more favor by fighting to spawn it. There's another caveat, which is you need to have population room to make the myth unit spawn. And that is our current understanding of how the Herser system works. There is a separate favor pool for the Herser. And yeah, that's how it works. Hope that makes sense. I did my best to explain it. And yeah, Ulysses still not advancing to Ulysses has already advanced to the second age. I'm so far away from this planet, I don't even know. He's actually already at 32 population, which is actually a lot here for this stage of the game. Is now the Longhouse does spawn here, and we do have the Herser pushing in. We've got ourselves Military Academy archery range coming through for Rapl, and Rappel's going to be making his way down onto this hunt, which this Herser has already spotted and is moving down to. So because Ulysses advanced so fast, because he's had good food, because he hasn't done anything weird, he's going to be able to get some early game pressure on here. And I like this here from Ulysses as well. Going to be taking down these Gazelle. These Gazelle each have 0.48 favor in them. So like I was saying with the Herso spawns, this is actually building up to a myth unit spawn here. So each one of these Gazelle, if he kills 2 Gazelle, that gets in 1 favor. That builds up to, if he kills off, what is it, 10 Gazelle? No, 20 Gazelle or something like that, he might get himself a troll spawn or something like that. As opposed to like a Jason, you can see down here, 2.16 favor for the Jason. If he kills off the Jason, or like, I mean, if he kills off 50% of a Jason, he'll get 1 favor. So if killing off a whole Jason, he'll get himself his 2.16 favor. Like the Norse favor gather rate is really, really interesting, and I love the way that they made it and all that other good stuff. You see this villager having to make a break for it here as the Herso is still pushing in. Still no dead Herso here as one villager is seemingly falling. There it does go. The Minotaur coming through to try and defend this one. And Rapl trying to hunt this as best as he possibly can. He does have some food in his base, but the troll wandering in, and he's going to be dealing a little bit of damage here, but he's going to get cleaned up now by a Jason. And effectively here, I love this here from Ulysses coming through, going to be taking down the Herso here. Not only that, he's already got himself Hall of Thanes. I mean, I say already, it's a very standard time to have Hall of Thanes out, but the amount of damage he has done thus far with these Herso is incredible. Pulling these units back. There's the first Valkyrie spawn, a beautiful spawn for the start of the game. We did see a little bit of micro there from Rapl into his tower, and now the units are going to be getting pulled back. The Valkyrie getting left behind, unfortunately, there. And now the Herso get pulled back, going to be utilizing the healing spring and allowing a little bit of pressure to be relieved. One Herso going to be coming through here, trying to get a little bit more damage over here. This one spied villager hanging out. And this Herso here looks like it might get taken down here, and it does. Nice snipe there. We do see the Herso now moving in onto this sentry tower. Ulysses is very, very quick with these Herso, trying to get as much damage as he possibly can, as much favor income as he possibly can. Nice delete there from Rapl to keep that one, to get that one down. I think he should probably delete this sentry tower as well, because this is a lot of damage, a lot of favor he's getting to his opponent, but maybe he doesn't care so much, and it's better to just leave it there and be a distraction for the time being. Still seeing this Trios bow getting left here, +2 Archer Ballista, Cara Ballista range. And we also see the Girdle of Hippolyta, which is the Toxotes HP increase by 5%, both getting left. I think the Toxotes HP would be very, very useful. Now we see Rapl making a big solid statement now. He's saying, all right, time to attack. It's going to be difficult to defend for Ulysses. Ulysses has got 900 gold left in this one. We've got the buildings getting thrown up. One thing you can do with Loki, which is very, very important, which we haven't seen here from, we've kind of seen it here from Ulysses, but we haven't seen it exactly correctly, is you throw up long houses around your town center. Because the idea in this matchup is to never farm. You just want to be throwing everyone onto gold and throw a market down. Get yourself to the heroic age, throw everyone onto gold, throw a market down, buy food, and then later you can think about, okay, well, I can do something else. We do see a restoration. Very, very strange restoration here, but a restoration nonetheless. He's picking off a couple of units. The Herso are going to come back in and continue to fight this one afterwards. As Ulysses has got his town center here to defend this one as well. Going to be doing a lot of damage to these units. The dwarves getting pulled off of the gold mine there, jumping onto those Toxotes here. An attempted micro from Rapl, but these units here are mostly getting taken down. And now a Valkyrie coming through for Rapl to help defend this one. Those heroes still alive, going to be doing a lot of damage to the Valkyrie. We have a couple of throwing axemen here as well to clean this army up, and now Rapl has not got anything left to continue this push. Ulysses 61 population, Rapl 65 population, 31 villages to 29 villages. A very close game here after that fight, but Ulysses definitely got somewhat of an advantage here now as he's going to attempt to take down this Odysseus here, who is running away. We have some reinforcements coming through for Rapl. Not a lot of reinforcements though, mind you. There's the rest of them, and then Rapl can decide to turn around and fight, and Ulysses sees how many units is there, and he does say, all right, time to bail. And he's going to get out of there. So villagers now making their way over onto these berries here, and we'll see how he's going to go with that. And I guess just talking a little bit more about the building situation. The reason you want to throw your buildings around the town center is because a big play with the Zeus Athena, which is very potent, is while the Herso are running around raiding, your opponent just says, all right, I'm just going to bring every villager into my home base, and I'm going to go for a big push onto my town, onto your opponent's town center, onto my opponent's town center, while your Ursa are running around the map. You can see these villagers making a bit of a run for it as the hoplites coming back to defend. There's really not that many hoplites here, but they're going to be doing a nice job here to defend. Nice micro from Ulysses, but a good return micro from Rapl here as these villagers getting taken out. But the Einherjar spawn is going to be incredibly important here as the troll getting pulled back. The dwarves coming through as well. And the ox cart here getting slightly sniped, but not just yet. So Ulysses is in. This is now one of the very difficult points because Ulysses didn't really go for a semi-fast heroic here. He doesn't have a good security on this gold mine. He doesn't have Battle Boy. He doesn't have Huskar. He doesn't have anything remotely useful to push in. And Rappl's going to see this. Problem for Rapl is he hasn't really scouted, but he is sending a hoplite up to this position here. And we'll see if he's going to make his way over there. He has moved over to this gold mine, but the hoplite is going to see this army sitting over here. And that's potentially going to mean that Rapl has gone, damn, I picked the wrong side. As he sees this gold mine, these villagers are sitting here. Will he see the villagers is the question. Oh, my beating heart. He actually could have selected this in the fog. One thing you can do on this is Titans exclusive. It doesn't work on Voobly, but berries, hunt, any trees, anything like that. If you've scouted them already, you can try and select over them, and it'll show you that they're dead. The ones that, or you can't select the ones that are dead. So, for example, this berry and this berry would be unselectable, and we are going to be seeing a big fight ensuing here. We do have 3 trolls, a lot of raiding cavalry. Ursa going for some raids over here, but 100 population to 100 population here. As the Odysseus is going to easily clean up these trolls. Oh, he has to focus the trolls down. The trolls doing a lot of damage in the back. This Ursa trying to take down the Odysseus. Rapl is very aware that he needs to keep his Odysseus alive here, otherwise the troll's going to get too much value. But the raiding cavalry with medium raiders does come through in time. Rappel's army is getting absolutely carved up here because his Odysseus did not get the value it needed. Jason coming through to help defend this one. The Ursa coming through on the back here to get some serious damage done, and Rapl has to retreat. Ulysses able to hold beautifully against the pressure that Rapl is trying to put on here. I think the only real way in which Rapl won that fight is with like 5 or 10 villagers getting pulled here. And Ulysses makes a really, really strong decision here to go for a second town center. He says, I probably don't have the food to get to the heroic age. I think that's... Oh, no, he does. I take it back. He should go to the heroic age here. This town center is a mistake. It gives Rapl a little bit of a chance in this game to come back because he's going to be able to do kind of anything to try and come back into this game. He's giving himself chances essentially. This is a safe play from Ulysses, but it gives his opponent chances to get back into the game. If he goes heroic age, it's one of those timings. It's one of those attacks that Rapl just simply can't defend. That's why it's better to do it. It's like a little bit more risky in the sense that like it's up to you to execute. If you don't execute it, you lose. But if you execute it correctly, you win. So you're saying Ulysses is essentially saying, I'm just going to take the safer route and play a little bit more safely here, and we'll see if it's going to work. As the trolls are currently getting taken down, we do have the hammer troll upgrade through for Ulysses as well, as the farms are going to start getting thrown down. But some villagers getting sniped over here as well. This Ursa is not long for this world, but does manage to get a villager pick. As the raiding cavalry wandering around looking for something to take down. He's going to take down the granary, getting himself some favor, and Rapl does delete that one. Completely fine to do so. Makes perfect sense. How are the economic upgrades here for Ulysses? He's got himself plow, nothing else. And Rappel's sitting at 93 of 115 population. He's got himself 3 military buildings, a barracks, a military academy, 2 archery ranges. That's it. So he's not. If he loses his army, it's really, really tough for him to rebuild it. Whereas I think that, Ulysses has got something similar, I guess. There's a fight ensuing here. Toxotes trying to target down those throwing axemen as best as he possibly can. The Odysseus here really not doing its best job. You see the Iron here are going to come in and help out a ton here, getting that extra damage through on all of his units. I think it's been said that the throwing axeman doesn't get affected by the Iron here special, but nonetheless, Rapl does tap out. Ulysses gets the dub, wins 2 of the 3 games here. And that is it. That's a good game here from Ulysses. Advancing really, really quick here is so important. Like I can't overstate this enough that the amount of pressure you lose, here from advancing 430 or later is so huge. See, 443 from Rapl, so late. It means that he doesn't hit this early game enough. This hunt that was here, you should be hitting this. If you can get a 4-minute advance time, you should know. He had a rhino here, so he should have eaten his rhino, and then he should have probably scouted, and it would have decided to go onto this. But he could have come over here as well and hit at least a 415, a 430. If he's unlucky, as is possible, but definitely that 415 is so important, or 4 minutes if you have a really nice map is so important in this match. I'm gonna get that early damage done. Rapl also had some like miss micro situations, I think, throwing away some units pretty poorly, and I mean Ulysses just played it really, really nicely in all honesty, but I guess the big thing was he went to the wrong gold mine over here. One thing that I think Greek players could do a lot more of is invest in one Pegasus. Costs 50 food to favor, but one Pegasus to just be roaming the map and scouting and pretending like you're Odin is invaluable. I think it's very, very strong. I think you should be doing that if you're playing the Greek civilizations and playing at all aggressively, at all raid heavy. You should be getting those Pegasus. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.